quote unquote, what the world would call failures in business. I've had multiple business failures, franchise failures. When I first got married, got into the franchising world, and that was very painful. Lost several $1,000,000 over just a couple of years. Yet the lessons that I've taken out of that, as painful as it was, is I got a multi-million-dollar education. Is the how I've decided to look at it, that I can now take into my current businesses. I've got multiple businesses that we run. I'm a developer. I'm a builder. I'm doing some large projects and things like that. Now I'm also leading couples with my wife in a ministry. And so we get to do events and coaching and all these things that we get to do. But the reason why we're successful in those things is because through those quote unquote failures is I've pulled out what I needed to, rather than just looking retrospectively and go, oh man, like I lost several years of my life. I gave it my best and I lost several $1,000,000, et cetera. No, that's garbage.
Yep.
What can I pull out of is my lessons? And so if my purpose is hidden inside the things that were designed to distract me or kill me, then I've got to look retrospectively into those things.
Yep.
Relationally is I have a marriage, and I've already dropped this bomb. So listen to some old podcasts if you've missed it. But I was involved in an affair early in my marriage. And if I look at a purpose in my life, I have a purpose on my life to lead people into great marriages. Not just marriages like, oh, I like to come home to my wife, like she's my friend. No, a marriage where we are crazy about each other, where we have children that want to follow us, that we have couples that see what we have and go, what are you doing? Like, I want a piece of what you got. Shocking that I would go through something that was designed to kill me, kill my marriage, kill my ability to have that relationship, yet my purpose is embedded in that.
Love it.
And so from business to relationship to even personally, the things that would hurt us the most, those circumstances are where the lessons are embedded.
I love that.
We've got to pull those out and put them to work.
I love that. And just before we segue to the next P, a deep pain in my life was growing up without a father figure. And as an only child raised by a single mom, I spent many years in that sense of pain, feeling like life just gave me lemons and the wrong cards, not understanding what it meant truly to be a man, not having great models for masculinity. And it was a pain that made me feel very insecure, exactly like you said, wanted to distract me, wanted to kill me. And it was the pain that I had to face where the seed of this business, this coaching, the High Value Man movement, in the last 10 years dedicated to masculinity, building relationships with men, has been seeded. And that's the beautiful thing about it, is once you understand that your pain gives you a unique insight and perspective that nothing else can, allows you to then step into a space where you can turn your pain into passion, which is the next P on the formula. So if you're following along on this video, the next P that you want to draw out, the opposite corner, is passion. And passion, if you know the root of the word, it is rooted in pain. Passion of the Christ, there's a deep suffering that he went through. There's deep conviction that happens inside of passion. When I think about describing passion, passion is the type of thing that you can get on a soapbox about, where you can just start spitting fire and it just comes and it fuels up your body. It excites you. It energizes you. There's pain, but there's also purpose inside of it. And you think about anybody that you followed online, any account that catches your attention, Jordan Peterson always comes to mind. He is a very passionate man. You can see it in how he speaks and communicates. If there are accounts you're following, there's probably a level of passion that's being ignited. If there's aspects inside of movies that you want that moves you emotionally, there's an aspect of the passion there that you need to start discovering and deciphering. And once you start to pull on that passion, that starts to give you the fuel for defining your purpose.
I love that. And even talking about movies, it takes me back to The Matrix, just one of the classics in my lifetime. And thinking about the main character, Neo, is he knew there was something more. He knew that there was something more and continued to question it, was looking for it, did his due diligence, and discovered that there was so much more to what he understood as life.
Yeah.
And he had to make a choice. He had to make a choice between the red pill or the blue pill. And he chose to I would say, take the hard path. And chose the red pill.
Yep.
And we've all got the opportunity to do that in our lives. And just, if you've seen the movie, and I imagine if you're listening to this, you probably have multiple times like I have, but understand that when you take the red pill of life, you're choosing to embrace the pain. And that's the only way, in my opinion, to create true passion in your life.
Yes.
And I love that you explain passion. Passion is one of those things, at least in the few things in my life that I get to do, that literally feel effortless. Effortless. When I get to do, when I'm in the construction world and I know I'm building something, yes, it has a financial piece tied to it, but when I'm building something, literally, there's an effortlessness that comes about that. when I'm sitting with a couple or across the table from another man, and we're working through and walking through things together, we may be putting in time together, but there's not a single interaction that I have that I don't walk away filled up.
Yeah.
That it's an effortless. So I know that I'm in this lane that I'm designed to be in. It creates a deep passion, and there's very few things, Aaron, in life that I get to do, and that don't draw from me.
Yes.
And those are things the things in my life that I'm passionate about don't draw an ounce from me. If
I
anything,
love
they
that.
completely fill me up.
I love
And
that.
every man that can hear this has that opportunity.
Yes, I love that. And you're talking about we're leading into the next P here where it becomes effortless and almost like play. But passion is one of those things that will energize you. And we look at all the things we do throughout the day. There has to be segments in your day that energize, fulfill you, and fill your cup. Otherwise, you end up just pouring out constantly. And the beautiful thing about passion, where I believe that God uses passion as a tool to show us the direction of our purpose. I call it the golden thread, but it shows up subtly in the beginning. It's very, very subtle. It's just like a thread from a shirt, right? Right. And so it's simple, it's golden, it's bright, but it's very, very faint when you first begin to develop your passion. And so it might show up inside of doing something artistic or creative, or jujitsu is an area where I feel very deeply passionate about. Exercise, an area I feel deeply passionate about. Coaching men,